Hey guys, another chapter 10 section 4 video here today, and we are going to work on how can I find sample space. And this is something we actually looked at in a prior video also, but we're going to continue the process of practicing. So we know sample space is all the outcomes that we can get. So we're going to try some problems here. And we're going to start with example 1. So imagine I am playing some sort of game that involves doing two things. I am going to roll a dice. So I'm rolling a dice, and it's your standard like 6-sided dice, goes 1 to 6. And I'm also going to flip a quarter. I'll be doing two things at the same time. I flip the quarter and I roll the dice. And my question is can we use a couple of methods to show sample space? So method 1, which I'm going to write over here, method 1, is something we learned in the first video, and that is make a tree diagram. So tree diagram. Draw the branches of all the possible outcomes. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a tree diagram. That's going to be my first method. So I'm rolling a dice and flipping a quarter at the same time. When I roll the dice, what numbers can I get? Well, it's pretty straightforward. I can get a 1. I'll make my little dice here. A 2. I could get a 3, I could get a 4, I could get a 5, or lastly, I could get a 6. That's really it. Those are my only options, a 1 to 6. So I roll my dice and I get one of these numbers. At the same time, I flip my quarter. Well, what possible outcomes can I get with my quarter? Well, I either get a heads or I get a tails. Depends on which way it flips. So I could get a 1 with a heads, or I could get a 1 with a tails. I could get a 2 with a heads, or a 2 with a tails. I could get a 3 with a heads or a tails, a 4 with a heads or a tails, a 5 with a heads or a tails, and a 6 with a heads or a tails. So how many possible ways, when I roll my dice and flip my quarter, how many possible outcomes could I possibly get? Well, I could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 possible outcomes. So we're going to write that. There are 12 possible outcomes. Now that's method number 1. Method number 1 is just draw a picture, make a tree diagram, and I think it works really well actually, to be honest. But let me show you down at the bottom what method 2 is, because not everybody likes the tree diagram. So method number 2 to show my work would be, I could organize this just in a table. If you're not really like into the tree diagram, then let's try a table instead. And here's my table. It's going to be pretty simple. My table is going to be, I flip my quarter and I either get heads or I get tails. I mean, really, those are my two choices. So what I'm going to do is split heads and tails down the middle to make my table, kind of like this. And then when I flip my quarter and roll my dice at the same time, I got to go through what are all my possible solutions I could get on my dice. And that is I could get a 1, I could get a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. Those are my possible dice options. So my table is going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 on my dice. What I'm going to put inside my table are all the outcomes. So I roll and flip and I get a heads with a 1. Or I get a tails with a 1. I get a heads with a 2, a heads with a 3, a heads with a 4, a heads with a 5, or a heads with a 6. Or a tails with a 2, tails with a 3, tails with a 4, tails with a 5, tails with a 6. Those are all my possible outcomes. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Same answers up here. So that's a second strategy. Really, whatever you're going to do to figure out your outcomes, pick the one that's kind of more favorable for you. If you like the table and you're like, oh yeah, I just kind of want to make a table, go for it. But if you're like, I kind of like the tree diagram, then go ahead and do the tree diagram. That works too. So that's what we're going to practice in this video, and we're going to try another example. We're going to switch up the situation here. We're going to call this example 2. There we go. And for our second example, we're going to be making outfits, picking out shirts and pants and shoes, things that go together. And so here's what we have in our closet. Our closet, if you open it up, has, we're going to say, 6 t-shirts, 3 pants, and 2 pairs of shoes. And so our question is how many possible outfits can I make with 6 shirts, 3 pants, and 2 pairs of shoes? What are my outfit choices? So how many outfits are possible? It's a sample space problem. How many outfits are possible? So again, you can make a table or you can make a tree diagram. I'm gonna go for a tree diagram on this one. I prefer it. So we have 6 shirts. So here's my little shirt. That's my t-shirt. We have 6 of those. So there's 1 shirt, 2, 3. Okay, these are getting, do you like my shirts? They're getting worse and worse. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll have to draw your own shirts, hopefully a little better than mine. Oh, that one's pretty good. What do you guys think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just felt like drawing this instead of writing it. There's my 6 shirts. I don't know what's going on with that shirt, but those are my 6. And we're going to pair them up with pants. We have 3 pant styles. So I don't know if I'm going to draw 3 pants, but there's 1, 2, 3. So my pants, I'm just going to write pants, pants, pants. And there's 3 choices. Maybe it's like jeans and khakis and a black pant or something. I don't know. But there's 3 for each of these. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So now I'm going to go in here real quick and write pants on all these so I have detail. And you'll have to, if you want to pause the video, go for it, just so you can do this on your own. I think if you go slower, it looks a little nicer. I'm going to write this out for all of these. All right. So pants, pants, pants. For all these options. Okay, there we go. There's the tree diagram so far. Now what's going to happen? We've got our shirts, we've got our pants. Don't forget our shoes. There are 2 pairs of shoes. Oh my gosh, this tree diagram is going to get messy fast. So you pick the first shirt and these pants, but you also have 2 shoe options. So each of these has 2 shoe options. Oh my gosh, you see how messy this is going to get? Oof. Very messy. These are all, good thing we're not drawing pictures of shoes. I think that would take us forever. Or at least me. So I'll put a little S for shoes here, because I don't know, maybe they're sneakers, maybe they're dress shoes. I really don't know. But now, our job is to add up how many are there. That's our next step. Man, this is a big tree diagram. I almost wish I had like a big poster to put this on or something. Oh, there we go. All right, so what do we got here? How many options? If I pick my first shirt, shirt number 1, I've got 3 pants choices and then all these shoes to choose from. So I end up getting 2, 4, 6 options with the first shirt here. That must mean I get 2, 4, 6 options with this shirt, 6 options with this shirt, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here. So 6 with 6 options, 6 times 6, that's 36 possible outcomes here. So there are 36 possible outfits you can make. I'm just going to say there are 36 possible outfits. Wow, that is a lot of choices. So there's our tree diagram. It's detailed. I could have done a little better making it less messy. I kind of didn't evaluate my space very well, but you get the idea and you can still read it and understand it. 36 possible outfits. Okay, so now it is time for you to try this on your own. You can choose to make a table or a tree diagram, that is up to you. But here is your you try for today. So go ahead and set this up. We're going to say you try. And for your you try, here is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be going to Subway to order a sandwich. So sub shop. And we did this in a prior video also. This time, when you go to the sub shop, the menu has changed though. They have some new options. You can do white bread, wheat, or if you're going super healthy, you can get a lettuce wrap. One of those sandwiches where they wrap it all up in lettuce. So these are your bread options. You can do white, wheat, or if you're staying away from bread, you can do a lettuce wrap. Your cheese options are pretty straightforward. You can choose cheddar or provolone. What do you like better? And then for meat, your choices are tuna, ham, turkey. All right, so here's my challenge to you. Can you pause the video and create your own tree diagram or table that represents this situation? We're going to make it nice and neat as possible. So hit the pause button, good luck, and we'll check it in a minute. All right, you ready to check your answer? So I'm going to be needing a lot of space. I can see that up front. And there are 3 bread options. So what I'm going to do is on the side here, I'm going to write white, wheat, and then we have our lettuce wrap. So I'll write wrap. So white, wheat, and wrap. Off of that, we've got our 2 cheese options. For the white one, we can either do cheddar or provolone. So we've got cheddar or provolone. If I owned a sub shop store, oops, that's fine. If I owned a sub shop store, this might be something I do to figure out how much supplies I need to order to have on stock. So here we go. I'll zoom out so you can see this. So we've got our white bread, wheat bread, or wrap. Those are our choices. And inside of that, you can get white bread with cheddar or white bread with provolone. Wheat bread with cheddar, wheat with provolone. The wrap can be with provolone or cheddar, all same options. And then we do our meat, tuna, ham, or turkey. So from the cheddar, you can say I could get a tuna, a ham, or a turkey. Those are my 3 choices. From the white provolone, I could get a tuna, ham, or a turkey. Okay, wheat cheddar, I could get tuna, ham, or turkey. The choices stay the same each time. With my wheat provolone, I could get tuna, ham, or turkey. With my wrap provolone, I could get tuna, ham, or turkey. And then with my wrap cheddar, same thing, tuna, ham, and turkey. So how many options do we have here? We've got a lot. I see 3. So I see 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to count in threes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 sandwich options. There are 18 total sandwich outcomes. Now imagine if we went to Subway and we really did this with all the topping choices. If you've been to Subway, you know what I'm talking about. They've got all the different meat and bread choices and cheese, but then there's all the veggies too. You can choose what kind of vegetables you want on your sandwich. You can choose your mayonnaise, your mustard, your oil, your vinegar. If we put all of that into here, imagine how big this tree diagram would get. It would be pretty massive actually. So you can picture how much bigger this can get. All right, guys, so in the next video, we're going to take this process to the next step where we start finding the probability of things. So we're now pretty comfortable with finding the outcomes, making the tree diagram, but the next step is what's the probability? So look forward to that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.